Warning: the content of this podcast may offend you. If you are a snowflake or easily offended, please stop watching now.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fight back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Throwdown, an RCT production, the official voices of Honor Fighting Championship and Cage Thunder. Joining us in our part 3 segment of today's podcast, we've got Isaiah the Beast Chapman. What is going on, Isaiah?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
It's the third time that we had you on. Second that we've actually had it recorded. I think the third one we never actually aired. But all right, man. So how's life? How's life been treating you?
I'm good, bro. You know, just working, training, the kids, my little goons.
Oh yeah, but daycare is open, man. They're here somewhere playing on the punching bags.
Heck yeah.
Hitting the skill equipment up.
Hanging out in the other studio we're setting up.
Yeah, no, that other studio is looking pretty clean, man. I'm liking what we got set up back there.
I think we should do like a sauna.
A sauna podcast.
Yeah, a sauna podcast where
Heck
everyone's
yeah.
just sitting inside, and I'll put a boom mic in.
So foggy.
Dude, it doesn't matter.
Honestly, you almost
Camera
just
right through the glass.
no. Honestly, it
Sweating
just
it out.
it would just be for show, man. I don't think you even have the sauna on. You just open the door, put the camera in front of it, and just make it look like.
Have a mister.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You get a mister.
Just a little fan or something. That'd be fun. Sorry, go ahead.
All right. So, what was the last time? When was the last time you were in the cage?
The last fight was October of 2017. That was against Walker.
Walker, and the guy that you are fighting on March 23rd, Donnie Ballou, just beat Walker to win a title for another promotion, and that was his rematch.
Because Walker had just beat him.
Yeah,
Yep.
so Walker had beat him, and then he had rematched him for a title, which is really odd.
Well, the first one was a title match too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
First
And
one was Walker first round heel hook, and then so it was what? Rear naked choke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had beaten Walker head and arm
Yes,
in
sir.
the first round, correct? In October of 2017. So now you are fighting Blue, and you have never fought Blue, correct?
Correct.
So it's going to be a good fight. Donnie's 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
You are 7-3.
Yeah.
Your MMA career, I mean, you've had your ups and downs. I mean, you were 12-1 as an amateur.
Yeah.
And did you win the fight? The one amateur fight that you lost, did you eventually avenge that loss? I can't remember.
We never fought again.
Who was it?
Who was it?
You should be able to remember
It was
the
Jeremy
one.
Myers. Yes. Yeah.
But 12-1 as an amateur, and then now 7-3 as a professional. And it's like your international experience when you fought for World Series of Fighting. You ended up who did you
Teamer?
fight?
And that was Teamer, yeah, I
Teamer?
believe.
Was
Yeah.
that your first loss, or was it your second?
That was the second. The first came when I dislocated my shoulder.
Goolsby, right? Was it Goolsby?
Was it Goldsby? Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
It was
That's
Goldsby.
right.
How many rounds did you fight with a dislocated shoulder?
4. I dislocated a minute and 30 into the first round.
Oh shit! And then your corner ended up just they threw the towel on it. At that point, right. So, and then you had the loss, World Series of Fighting, and then you fought Rel
with a dislocated hip.
The dislocated hip with an 18-month layoff.
I just like to fight.
So how do you feel going into this fight, man? You feel pretty good?
Yeah, I feel good, man. I'm ready.
Now, you were supposed to fight last year, and it was the notorious weight cut that fucked you up on that one. You were within, I want to say you were within a pound or so, and then, boom, you ended up putting on like 6 pounds of water like overnight or something like that.
Yeah, I came in about 5 pounds.
That's a 5 pounds?
Yeah.
And what was his opponent? Who was his opponent for that? Who were you fighting for that?
That
one?
was
Who was it supposed to be?
Son
I
of a
can't
bitch.
remember his damn name.
no.
It doesn't matter.
It's got a weird name. I want to say Chase, but it's not Chase.
Nah, it doesn't matter. But so now, but you're still going. You're still trying to fight at 125. At
Yes.
Flyweight. So
this one
isn't
coming
gonna
up.
be-
Yeah, it'll be a catch weight.
It is going to be a catchweight at 130.
30.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, and you guys, as far as your fighting style goes, I mean, you were.
Blaine Shutt.
That's right, Blaine Shutt.
Some of those frat boy names. No offense, but just
Your fighting style, like I said, we wrestled together in high school, and you were always a gifted wrestler. You were always someone who, athletically, you're a fast learner, and you were able to overcome and adapt really quick to whatever situation that you were thrown in, and your ability to learn. I've always said this about you as a fighter and as an athlete. Your ability to learn is awesome. I mean,
Appreciate it.
You come in and you're a wrestler, and then you were able to pick up on judo and jiu-jitsu, and as fast as you did, and I mean, I watched you win a judo match. A guy was 240 pounds,
Heck
and
yeah.
you're like 140, 135 pounds at the time. I mean, you ran through the belt system in judo. You competed in jiu-jitsu tournaments at world championship level. Did you win?
I did. That was down in Disney.
Yeah, and they slashed your guys' tires or some shit. Well, it was Scott.
It was close.
Scott told me something about that. That you guys had gone out because you were like the out of towners, man. They just didn't like the fact that you won, and they were not letting you guys leave.
Right, bro. It was crazy.
So, but yeah, your ability to learn a new sport is insane. You're a very coachable individual. So, and that having that trait as a fighter is why you've had so much success in your mixed martial arts career. Plus you're a workhorse. You work your ass off, and that's not just. I'm not even talking about MMA. I'm talking about like day to day. Your personal life too, man. You're working like 12, 14-hour days.
Yep.
And you're trying to fit training into that as well. So it's definitely going to take its toll. So I mean, are you tired? Like, are you just always tired?
No, it's I mean, by now it's like something I'm used to.
Right.
Like you said, I'm working all day training. I got the kids, so it's just you got to put your big boy pants on and keep rolling with the punches, keep going. If it's it's something I want, so you just got to chase it.
So what's the end game with you in mixed martial arts? I mean, like I said, you haven't fought since 2017. You're a very busy guy. You have your children. I mean, they're here with you right now. And you're going to be training after this segment of the podcast is over as well. And so what is the end game for you as far as fighting? I mean, is this just something that you're going to continue to do locally for the next 10, 15 years until you finally just kind of hang the gloves up, or are you trying to get back on that international level and start competing in other organizations and maybe try to get into Bellator?
For sure, bro. I want to go as far as I can. So one fight at a time. One step at a time, one punch at a time. But I'm gonna go as far as I can. Especially with the kids. Just bringing them up the right way. Like you said, they here now, so just bringing them up in the gym with me and showing them, Daddy can work and train and fight and do this and still be daddy.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Be able to flip that switch when you need
Right.
to. Now, pending outcome of this fight, what is the plan after this? I mean, you got your coach sitting right next to you. You know, what's the plan after this fight?
What's the plan, Coach?
Well, no, without overlooking the fight, you know, like I said, it's one step at a time. So the plan right now is to win this fight, make a statement, get some eyes on him, turn around and fight relatively quick. If there isn't a call to come up, you know, if this May the 4th card ends up happening, there's an opportunity there.
And that's the May the 4th. That's the
Millersburg
card.
May the 4th be
Honor
with
Fighting
you, Star
Championship
Wars,
9, Star Wars themed card in Millersburg. So.
Yeah.
So, so like the immediate plan, you know, get this win. Look at that card. Hopefully, like, you know, when me and Isaiah have talked, you know, if there was a choice, it would be wherever there was more money per fight on a multi-fight contract.
Yeah.
You know, if you have to, if they offer you one fight, okay, cool, take it. Try to make a statement there, whichever promotion it would be. But, you know, someone at Isaiah's level, you know, skill level, a one fight deal just isn't good enough.
Yeah.
And I know in some of their contracts that I've seen before, even a one fight deal, they want a 6-month no competition clause after your fight. Like you're almost on retainer for shit money.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. Like for a one fight contract too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's just so that you get that one fight, win or lose. You can't fight for anyone else in case we need you. So you're just on the shelf for 6 months, which you know. And I know how to read
if you're paying $15,000-$20,000 for that one
Hey,
fight, then
cool.
yeah, take a 6-month retainer.
Definitely.
But if you're trying to go 11-11 or 2, hell, even 2-2 is pushing it for a 6-month retainer. You know.
If it's just a little bit more money than local fights, not worth it for that kind of contract. But you know, as far as playing with Isaiah, it's, you know, look at the first fight, look at that date. Not even worry about a fight for that date yet. Just that date. That's next, unless we move up. But it's just, you know, getting him back into the shape where he was when he fought Walker, and getting better than that. Getting his skills, you know, sharp as they can be, and when he's at that level, what can he do?
Yeah. It's almost like we need to get you to a point where you have more time to train.
Right.
You know, like, because, you know, you work so much now, and so it makes training harder for you. And even, like, you know, you're in here every day training, you know, that's going to eventually take it, you know, that wear and tear, it's going to take its toll on you. So, yeah, you want to get to a point where you can actually chill and relax,
Right.
and maybe come in a couple times a day, and, you know, you don't have to worry about so much work,
Right.
you know, and in your personal life where you can actually do fighting full time. So,
And with that, a lot of that, once we get to one of those promotions, even if it would be just for a fight, and you know, we'll sign you for a fight and see how you do type thing, the sponsors that come along with that, the attention.
and you're talking more of like a Bellator.
I mean,
type of,
a little
promotion.
bit with like the UFC, but you can get sponsors through like not through the UFC, but for the UFC, but they're gym sponsors.
Okay.
They can't transfer to the UFC because, you know, they have their own. Like, hey,
Yeah.
you get Reebok, and then if people like you, you get Monster and Harley and Metro PCS or whichever it is that they have now. Wait, who is it? It's not Metro. It's the other one. Boost Mobile or whatever. It rotates. Whoever it is. So they have their own little set. You know, Bellator. It's the way that MMA used to be.
Where
like
you
the
can
UFC.
make $100,000 in
You want
sponsorships.
to put a henna tattoo on your back that says fucking, you know, Golden Casino, which remember when boxers were doing that? Do it.
Condom warehouse.
Well, they were paying. No,
I remember that.
If you were going to get knocked out, people would pay to have the bottom of your shoes on their logo. So when you were knocked out, your feet were up. Their logo was on it.
Heck yeah.
Dead serious.
That's crazy.
That's good.
You know, but it's that kind of you can sell your own brand. You know, that it's your business. That's your brand. You're a pro fighter. That your name is your business. And when you limit the avenues that you can make money on it, if you're not getting that, the 10 fight pay from the UFC, it's hard. You have to have another job.
Yeah. Well, hell, when we talked to, I got an opportunity to talk to Jeff Hughes, UFC. He won the Contender contract, and now he's got a fight in April.
Yeah.
And we were talking to him back in November, Cage Thunder 6 or 5, Cage Thunder 5, the day before Thanksgiving show.
Yeah.
And he was saying that, even though he has the contract and he landed the contract with the UFC, he kind of wishes that he didn't quit his full-time job because
it took forever to get a fight.
He got the contract, last year and that it's been almost it's been like 10 months. It'll be from the time that he got his contract to the time his first fight,
Almost
his
a year.
debut,
Yeah.
almost a year.
Yeah.
And he's not getting paid for having the contract, you know what I'm saying? So, even making it to that level, making it to kind of like that, I mean, that's kind of where, as an MMA fighter, you want to make it, the UFC.
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal,
To me, that was always like making it to the NBA or the NFL of said sport. But if you're not competing in the weight class that you're competing in, there's not a high demand for it. And there's nothing really going on. It's not competitive.
Right.
They're not going to sign you.
Right.
You're not going to get a fight. And that's exactly what he ended up running into. So, again, even finding the right promotion that's going to pay the right amount of money for the right amount of fights in the right amount of time, you have to have a full-time job.
Yeah, and that's the part that makes it hard because most full-time jobs don't really give a fuck about your fighting career.
Oh, they don't.
Right.
Like, hey, man, I'm a cage fighter.
Oh, you got to practice?
Okay.
Yeah. You'll be out in 3 hours.
Yeah.
So as far as your training, Isaiah, how do you feel about it? From you look like your old rock hard days. How have you grown as a fighter? Things you've learned, just the mindset and how you view the whole game. How has that changed?
I mean, I'm smarter, I'm a smarter fighter now, so coming from, the beginning, of course you learn more, it's always room to grow. So that's where I'm at, I have to have that set in me that there's always more to learn. So going into fights now, I fight smarter. I know my skill set is, I feel like it's good, I feel like I'm a good fighter, but I feel like I fight smarter now,
Calmer, calmer.
Yeah, for sure.
I've noticed because I remember when you day one with you at Unique. I remember you from, like I said, way back from arguing with guys on the NAFS forum boards. About who's this Isaiah kid? He's gonna get trashed by this guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, he's not, because I train with him. I know what he can do. Oh, shut the hell up, fat hammer. You know what the hell you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here. He ain't no world-class wrestler. He ain't this. He ain't that. And then what happened? He ended up tearing through everybody in his amateur career. So, but from seeing you from back then up until now, sparring and rolling with you now, you're very calm. You are a smarter fighter. And you train differently too. You've got that. There's a difference between it's like a different look when you train with a guy on an amateur level and then on a professional level.
Yeah,
There's something different about the way that you train now. So the way you carry yourself, the way you present yourself, the way you enter the room, the way people look at you, everything changes. The demeanor changes. Everything changes. So you can definitely see that.
And if anyone would look at, let's say, the fight against Walker in the first round, and then any of your first, let's say 7 fights, completely not completely different style, but you're more smooth picking your shots. Your movement was different, and I think if you watch, in that first round, when you were moving. Walker's face when he was trying to figure you out, he didn't know what to do because you weren't just pocket coming in you, blasting your face or taking you down.
Right.
You know, when you were in that fight, what were some of the things that you saw that were working for you?
So, I mean, going into the fight, we had a game plan. And, you know, I wanted, because Walker, you know, is great at stand-up. You know,
Yeah.
he got the professional kickboxing, you know, behind him. So going into that fight, we wanted, you know, at least 2 to 3 takedown attempts. You know, we wanted at least 1 to 2 submission attempts. And I say it like that because how we went in, like everything kind of fell into place, you know, on its own. You know, so the first takedown attempt, you know, succeeded. You know, and then the first submission attempt, you know, it just went as planned. So when you go into a fight, you know, and you're thinking smart, you're calm, you're humble, and you kind of like slow the entire fight down, you know, and you can see it, you know, as it's coming. So that fight, you know, it went our way, you know, it went exactly as planned, you know.
Like that was one of the only times when you're working on a game plan. It's like, all right, he's probably going to do this. We'll do this, and then he's
Right.
going to try this. And when this happens, he's going to do this, and everything we went over,
Right.
he did. We did.
Yeah.
It was like I remember just sitting there. I was like, oh, all right, cool. That cup shot, diamond cup. Okay, you're good. Sweet.
Right.
Like it just and like it was like I remember laughing because I was just like, you know, he's gonna throw that power kick. It was ended up being all foot, no big deal. Next kick, cup shot, cool. Threw that front kick, and I remember the front kick. He was kind of like, oh shit, all right, he's gonna throw kicks. It's a different fighter. And then was it a left you caught him with standing before the shot?
Yes.
And then it was down, and then he, you know, goes right for the heel hook, which we worked on. We knew he was going for it. And I said, hey, it's either going to be an arm triangle or you're taking his back. Boom, right into the arm triangle. It's braggable, like, yeah, everything I said was going to happen fucking happened.
Yeah.
But it's you know, watching film and knowing the Muay Thai game and how he was going to fight, and then, you know, knowing how he would react and go for that.
Right.
And the good and bad about that is, one, there's still not a lot of footage on how you fight
Right.
now. But, you know, Donnie is going to come in ready for you.
Right.
You know, he's got all the old footage. You know, just the beast coming, running like straight forward. You know, just like kid you fought in the flats, beast versus beast.
That was a good
Whitney,
one.
was it Andrew
Yeah.
Whitney?
Yeah.
That was a war. You dominated, but it was a war. You know,
Yeah.
completely different than till now.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, when, you know, I messaged you like, hey, this kid can come in prepared for anything you're going to do on film, to a point. You know, and that's why, as a pro fighter, as a fighter in general, you can't be complacent on your skill set.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't be okay with how you do with the guys that you practice with every day. Because if you practice with guys every day, one of two things should happen. They should start getting in on you and it pisses you off and you change, or you're running through them and making them better to where you need other training partners to come in.
Right.
I said that with Donnie, I mean, yeah, he's got limited footage of. Now he's got the footage of how Isaiah used to fight, you know, years ago. He doesn't know how he fights now. So, as a fighter on a professional, hell, even at an amateur level, you've got training, game plan, adaptability. Okay, so he's got the training. He's got a game plan to a certain level. Now, what's going to really ultimately dictate the outcome of this fight is how well both fighters can put together their game plan and
Right.
adapt
Yeah.
that game plan based on what they see now. So
Yep.
he, like I said, he doesn't know how Isaiah fights now. So how's he going to be able to adapt in the middle of a fight? That's going to ultimately dictate the outcome of this fight.
Yeah.
And it's gonna happen with Isaiah too. Isaiah's gonna have to get in there and adapt as well. And like I said before, you know, his ability to adapt in the middle of a fight, on the fly, and even in training is a lot better than your average fighter.
Oh yeah.
So,
And credit to Donnie. This is a weird situation. So I remember this fight was mentioned to us before the Walker fight. I think it was right before the Walker fight, or right after, one of the two. But think Ballou was injured, and then he retired. Then I was like, shit, the guy retired, so we're not fighting him, you know.
Yeah.
And then he's had two fights since. I think 2 fights since. So something happened. Either like he was like, I'm a fighter, I gotta fucking fight. So with that said, you know, he got out, and it wasn't for him being out of the game,
Right.
and he's back in. So as far as motivation, you know, it's Isaiah's got to be not just focused, but confident and ready.
For sure.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, Isaiah, it's always a pleasure having you on. And this is definitely you're the main event of this card, March 23rd for Honor Fighting Championship 8 at the Chapparells Event Center.
$10,000 win bonus. Do you know that?
I did.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit. No. If it's one thing that I do know is that locally, especially in Akron, you are a very big name, and you sell a lot of tickets coming into this fight, man. I know a lot of people are going to be there to support you, so we really look forward to it. And again, guys, like I said, Ring of Honor tickets are the only tickets available on Fighter Tix right now. There's probably going to be some general admission at the door. You know, show up, take the risk, see if you can get some standing room. But this card is fantastic. You don't want to miss this card, guys. So, that being said, until next time.